Let's look at the first question. A boy sold some lemon fruit at 345 cedi. If his total sales was 600 cedi, how many of the fruit did he sell? So in the question, since we do not know the number of fruits the boy sold, we can say that we should let n be the number of fruits sold. So we can now say that if 3 fruits were sold at 5 cedis, then a certain number of fruit was sold to get 600 cedis. The moment you understand this, you now break everything down to ratio and proportion. So we can now cross multiply, then find the value of n. If we do that, we are going to get 3 times 600, and this is equal to 5 times n. So therefore, we are getting 5n is equal to 3 times 600. We can divide through by 5. And this will imply that the number of fruits is equal to, so here 5 can go into 60 12 times, where we have the 02 attached to it. So the number of fruits is equal to 3 times 120. Therefore, the number of fruit sold to reach 600 cedis is equal to 300 fruits. Thank you for watching.
Let's look at the second question, which says that Salome is to fill some boxes with 140 pencils. So the first part is talking about some boxes. We do not know the number of boxes. So what we are going to say is that we are to let K be the number of boxes. The second part of the question is saying that if each box, so if each box means that if one box takes a maximum of 12 pencils, how many boxes will be fully filled? So the second part of the question is saying that if one box can be filled with 12 pencils, then how many boxes, which is the K, can be filled with 140 pencils? The moment you do this, then you apply the idea of ratio and proportion. So here we can cross multiply, then we are going to get 1 times 140, and this is equal to 12 times K. Making K the subject, you divide both sides by 12, here 2 by 12. 12 cancel 12, and you are going to get K equals 140 divided by 12, which is equal to 35 over 12, and the same as 11.6666. So the dot means that the 6 keeps on going, and the same as 11 whole number, 2 out of 3. Now let's pay attention to the answers here. So we have 11.666 as a decimal, which does not terminate, and also a mixed fraction, which is 11 whole number, 2 out of 3. Now, the K represents the number of boxes. And looking at the decimal part of the answer, can we say that we have 11 boxes and 0.666666 boxes? No, because this does not terminate, we cannot use the decimal part. Now, looking at the mixed fractional part, we can say that we have 11 boxes and 2/3 of a box, meaning that if we have 11 boxes of the same size and weight and breadth, there is this particular short box which is of the size, which is of the length or the height of whatever as 2/3 of the 11 boxes. So it means that this 11 whole number can be filled with pencils fully, whilst this 2/3 can also be filled with pencils but not fully. That is why in the question it asks that how many boxes will be filled fully or fully filled. So it means that 11 boxes can be fully be filled with pencils, whilst 2/3 of a box can also be filled with pencils but not fully. If you want to verify that, we can pick the 2/3 of the box then multiply by the maximum number of pencils, which is 12, and this is going to give us 8 pencils, meaning that the two-thirds of this particular box is going to be filled with 8 pencils. Now let's look at the 11 box. So the 11 boxes, if you multiply by 12, it means that that is going to be filled with 132 pencils, which means that if we add these these boxes which contains pencils, we are going to get the 140 pencils where Salome is to fill them. You get it? So this means that the total number of boxes, the total number of pencils are going to be 32 plus 8, which is 140 pencils. So therefore, 11 pencils, 11 boxes can be fully be filled. So the answer is B. Thank you for watching.
Let's look at the third question, which states that 55% of the pupils in the class are girls. What is the ratio of the number of girls to the number of boys in the class? So with this question, we are dealing with percentage, and always the total percent is always equal to 100%. So if the number or the percentage of girls are 55%, then we can determine the percentage of boys, which is going to be 100% minus 55%, and that is going to give us 45%. So the percentage of boys in the class is 45. But the question says that what is the ratio? So here the keyword is also ratio of the number of girls to the number of boys. So anytime we are talking about ratio, we are talking about division, and that can be written if we are to represent J with girls, then it's going to be J is to B, where B is also the percentage of boys. And since ratios are divisions, this is the same as J over B, and this is also equal to 55% over 45%. So the percentage cancel away, and also 5 will go into 55 11 times and go into 45 9 times. So we have 11 over 9, which can be written as 11 is to 9. So the answer to this question is C. Thank you for watching. Let's look at the fourth question, which states that which of the following fractions lies between 2 over 3 and 3 over 4. So here, let's assume that I have a number line and I start from 1 and skip to 3. And I ask you that what is the number between 1 and 3? You are definitely going to say the number is 2. Why is it 2? Because that is the middle number. So anytime we are talking about something between, it means that we are looking at the middle number. So to get this 2, we can say that to get the middle number, we can add 1 to 3, then we divide by 2. So this is going to be 4 over 2, and that is 2. That is the reason why the middle number here is 2. So we are going to apply the same concept. We are going to apply the same concept to this question. So the fractions are 2 over 3 and also 3 over 4. So what we are going to do is to add these two fractions and divide by 2. So this means that we are going to have 2 over 3 plus 3 over 4. Adding these two numbers, we have a common denominator, which is 12, and 8 plus 9, meaning 3 will go into 12 4 times. Then the 4 multiplies the 2, and also 4 goes into 12 3 times, and the 3 multiplies the numerator here. That is why we are getting the 8 plus 9. So if we add the numerators, we are getting 17 over 12. So we've now added these two numbers. So we are going to divide them by 2. So we have 17 over 12 divided by 2. And this is going to be 17 over 12 times 1 over 2. And we are going to get 17 over 24. Now looking through the options, we do not have 17 over 24. So there is no answer in these options. The answer here is 17 over 24, and that is the correct one. Thank you for watching. Let's look at question number 5. It says that a trader allows a 5% discount for cash payment. What would be the discount allowed for a cash payment of 5,600? So let's assume I came to your shop and bought a laptop which costs 5,600. But you told me that if I pay the money in cash, you are going to give me a discount of 5%. Now, when we say discount, we mean reduction. So here we are going to look for 5% of the payment or the cash, and that is going to be 5% of 5,600. So 5% is the same as 5 over 100 multiplied by 5,600. So we are getting this 0 and this 0 cancel this one. 5 times 56 is giving us 280. So this means that the discount amount is 280 Ghana cedis. Therefore, this becomes the amount that will make the original amount of 5,600 cedis reduce. Let's look at the next question.